one of the best records in English football over the last couple of years.
I will give the Den its credit where credit is due. Millwall Football Club definitely has probably one of the best atmospheres, probably some of the best fans in terms of what you could ask for as a football supporter. What's going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with another video once again, and today we're going to take a look at this video that you guys didn't request necessarily, but I feel like there's been a lot of weird animosity on the channel between me and Millwall fans. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of Millwall. Millwall fans aren't a big fan of me. I've seen a lot of different incidents go on with Millwall that I don't appreciate. But at the same time, as a Chelsea supporter, I understand that sometimes just a couple people's actions don't make up for what is an entire fan base of probably great fans. So today we're going to actually take a look at not only Millwall, but Leeds as well, in a Copenhagen story special. Why are Leeds and Millwall so hated? So hopefully we'll be able to at least have a civil discussion in the comments below about maybe, I guess not some of the tensions on the channel, because I don't really see it as a beef on the channel with me and Millwall. I just see it as a misunderstanding between me and Millwall fans in itself. And I don't hate Millwall, like I said in my last video, but it seems like you guys think I do. So let's get into the video. We'll see why, I guess, people in general think Leeds and Millwall are so hated, and maybe we can discuss it a little bit afterwards. So yeah, let's get into the video. As well, guys, you can find the original video just down in the description below. Definitely go check it out. Absolutely adore Copenhagen.
That's a good question. Sure. Who's the most hated club in England?
Leeds.
In general.
I think Millwall.
Leeds United.
Millwall, traditionally.
Probably Millwall.
Millwall.
1,000,000%.
Millwall. Interesting set of fans.
Ooh.
Notoriously violent. I think I'm being fair.
Notoriously violent.
So Leeds are the Millwall of the North. I probably agree with that, actually, yeah. Being a Leeds fan, we love to be hated, and that's one of the things that I really love
to be hated.
As a fan.
You go, oh, so do you support them? And you go, oh, I'm Millwall.
At the Leeds home game, I actually saw a tweet from a Leeds fan afterwards saying that's not a football ground, that's a fucking zoo. So yeah, he was happy about that.
Started going to away games in the early 70s. Really, you took your life in your own hands. It was absolutely horrendous.
People always assume, you know, you're part of that group, but yeah, I can assure you I'm not.
To be honest, I don't know whether we ever will lose that stigma of being fans of cause trouble or a dirty Leeds tag.
I think the origins of Leeds being hated go back to the Revie era, which really began just after England had won the World Cup in 1966 and English football was asserting itself as the inventors of the game and the best at it. And then Leeds started being good, wearing a Real Madrid kit, playing like AC Milan and Juventus and doing all the continental tricks that they'd learned in European games, where our captain had his thigh broken against Torino, and started applying it to the English leagues. And the football establishment didn't like that. One thing, Yorkshire's like a foreign country anyway to a lot of people in London.
I never really understood Yorkshire.
We took on this continental approach to the game and to winning and became really successful at it. We weren't playing the proper English way. And I don't think...
Obviously, I have a couple questions already starting off. So, are Leeds fans, or I guess what this guy's arguing is that Leeds in general was hated because they're from Yorkshire and because they were successful after England won the World Cup? Or is it necessarily just because people hate on teams that are successful? Which, I mean, that honestly makes a whole lot of sense. That seems very, very fair and genuine, because people do hate on teams that are extremely successful. I'm not a Man United fan or Liverpool fan in the slightest. Those are the two most successful clubs, I think, outside of Arsenal in all of England. And it's just one of those things where I just can't support them. And I kind of get it. I really do get it. And it's the same, I guess, here with Leeds. At least early Leeds, I guess, until we maybe get later in the video. So yeah.
I think people like that.
Why are Millwall a club that fans love to hate? I don't know. I said it before. We are very unique.
Very unique.
And as a fan base, and that's what sets us aside. You know, you come to this place, on and off the pitch, you'll get intimidated, you'll get harassed, you'll get bullied. And whether that's right or wrong, that's just the way we are.
Get harassed or bullied. That's the way
It's
we
not a
are.
bad thing that we are that way. It helps us in a big way with our home form. This place is a fortress and one of the best records in English football over the last couple of years.
I will give the Den its credit where credit is due. Millwall Football Club definitely has probably one of the best atmospheres, probably some of the best fans in terms of what you could ask for as a football supporter. I guess realistically, in terms of like how to have like fan support affect games, Millwall are top of that. They are complete top of it. But it's like he said, it's because they harass, because they bully, because they do what they think they must do to help their team in any single way on the pitch. And sometimes it does go, I think, a bit too far, and that's why Millwall have that stigma. And so that's just my thought process behind it. But
one of the benefits of the club being mistreated for about the last 15 years is that the Premier League has barely touched us. The modern world of modern football has barely touched us, and nobody has really told us how to behave in the Premier League. So we still behave like we did in the 90s and the 80s, just in increasingly modern away stadiums.
The Premier League now is sanitised, and so I think in the Championship you got the last remaining passionate fans. I think even when Leeds were in the Premiership, they retain that. So I think there is a similar feel, I think.
Obviously, we get recognised for the wrong reasons. We get recognised, you know, if you look in the papers and things like that, we get all the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Where if you look from the Premier League to League Two over the past 4 or 5 years, we've done the most work for charity, and we've been recognised for that.
The club worked very, very hard to change. We're currently Family Club of the Year.
Family Club of the Year. You know what? This is something that is actually really surprising to me. I mean, it's because of that stigma. See, this is with me not living in England. I know absolutely nothing about this type of stuff. Family Club of the Year, one of the most charitable clubs. I love that. I do love that. That is fantastic in every way, shape, or form. That gives me a whole new light.
People running on the pitch afterwards, a few day trippers there, really, more than Mill fans.
There's a small minority of fans that always bring the bad name to the club, but the vast majority of us, it's unfair enough because that small set of fans will always give us a reputation as a club.
I think it is the minority of the fans of Millwall, definitely, yeah. It's probably the guys from ages from 45 to 50 that still got that chip on the shoulder of Millwall from all those years ago. Probably say that about some Leeds fans as well, but I think Leeds fans are probably progressing from where we were from in the 80s to 90s to where we are now, definitely, yeah.
What happened, our lads, they were getting beaten up a lot of times, but we had a group of fans who were trying to protect us at home. Eventually, all these young lads grew up, and they grew up together, and then they started fighting back, and then we got a reputation then for not standing up and taking it. But of course the media picked up on that, especially the London media with the dirty Leeds and everything. But every time we did anything, it was all highlighted all over the country. If other clubs did it, didn't matter.
There's definitely something about this area that's contributed to the fans' mentality. You know, it's old school. You know, this is where we're all from. It's a working class area. It's why it fits so well in this division we're in. A lot of Mill fans would want to go to the Premier League because it's sanitised, it's happy clappy.
What? Do you not want to go to the Premier League though? Imagine the money that could be pumped in the
local
club.
businesses around here, a very, very strong community, and you know, Bermondsey, it's where we love and it's where we want to stay.
I think our fans will stay loyal despite anything, and if other people want to put the pen of foot in and say we're dirty Leeds, we're Leeds scum, well, that's their problem, not ours, and we'll just deal with whatever's in front of us at the time, I think. But I'm proud to be Leeds.
Proud to be Leeds. Okay, well, obviously this has been extremely, extremely informational because there's so much more that you actually learned from this. Obviously, Leeds, like she said, Leeds fans got picked on a lot in the 80s and the 90s, and in the 70s, obviously, due to their success at that time after England won the World Cup. So fans started hating on them, and even when Leeds were at their tip top, which I think was like the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, they still kept that same mentality. They kept that chip on their shoulder, and it's the same with Millwall fans. Obviously, Millwall is a working class area. It is one of those clubs where the people are hard. The people are hard, and they're hardened because of the environment that they live in. And I will apologize on my part. You know what? Millwall does have a bad stigma, and it is a small minority of fans. Same can be said about any club. Small minority of fans decide the image for the majority of the fans, and that sucks. It really does suck, and it's just a mentality change. I think that's purely what it is. So obviously, you guys let me know your thoughts. Maybe let me know your best or your favorite moment going to a game, if you've ever been to a game at the Den, or I don't know, Leeds Park off the top of my head. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me know your guys' favorite moments from your clubs down in the comments below, so maybe we can have an actual discussion about it, and I can learn still more about Leeds and Millwall. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys for another video. Peace.